I think I'm also now remembering why I thought Gouf died here. For some reason in my mind, I replaced Gouf with this guy. Or this guy with Gouf. It would be a shame, but I really wish Gouf died here. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with the penultimate episode of Mobile Suit Gundam, the 8th MS Team.
Can't say I'm looking forward to this episode because episode 12 is going to come up too, and it's going to be, they're going to stretch this out pretty much. Like, I guess this episode is just, Zeon kicking ass until, the MFA team finds a way to turn the tide or something.
I legit don't remember. I remember how it all ends. I remember the final shot, but this is one thing I remember, which is the last episode, and the final thing from the final episode. So that is 40 minutes. I don't know what happens in.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get on into it.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
But yeah, I mean, they showed the cross on the next time on, and I would have thought that was in episode 12. So it's in episode 11. Again,
I mean, the whole speech was, "Oh, don't die," but it seems like I think a lot of people are going to die in this episode.
Well,
and
again,
I just don't mean nameless mooks. I mean the MS team. Yeah,
we don't know what. Well, you probably remember. I don't. What the plan is for the super weapon. Are they going to do what the simulation is, or are they just going to fly around shooting everything? I don't know what the plan for victory is here. What is his victory condition?
If he has any.
As I said before,
seems like he's gone crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Aina's in there with him though. So, but no. For me, as I said before, the difficulty was that we hold this show in such high regard that it was difficult to take notes for it. So, as much as I enjoy rewatching 8th MS Team for like the first time in 20-something years, I will be happy to move on to Metal Gear Solid Revengeance. Requiem for Vengeance. Sorry, I always forget the name. Because it will be also new content, and it will also be new content. Just a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Last year, I think it was, right?
Also, it looks like he hasn't eaten. My boy.
Okay.
Look, how many characters do I refer to as my boy? It's not that crazy. Now, maybe either not brushing well or biting your own tongue.
Yeah.
They got tired. They got super tired. I do like the quick shot to the intense gaze and then back to normal Aina look. Because, literally bleeding from the side of the face she's looking at.
Yeah. The question is, it's her plan. What the she is going to do? She's simply going to follow his orders? Even though he says he doesn't agree with him?
Well, conceivably, she might also think Shiro's dead. Did they get shot, or did their camera get shot?
I mean, he probably got over.
Well, they followed it. They turned and looked at where the beam was going. Yeah. But then when it hit, the camera went like staticky, but they didn't like that, so I can't tell.
It could have been that it damaged the camera they were looking at.
I mean, they could have been looking at a remote view, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, you're one to tell me, Michelle. I mean, Michael, whatever the fuck. How many court-martial events have you gone through? You know, or I could accidentally shoot Big Trey. Whatever happens. Whatever happens, happens. Yeah, fired at him with the most ineffective weapon in Gundam history. Elder was on the channel. You can hear you.
Yeah.
The guy who literally said if you died, all my plans for the future would go away. But you have heard of me. Yeah, must have been a remote camera.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say it's a weird version of Big Zom.
That's her plan.
Oh, and the two didn't get destroyed. Or doesn't fight, as the case may be. What's in the suitcase? I've got no desire to keep living. The stupidity that I keep pointing out on Shiro's behalf. Why wouldn't they snipe you off?
Yeah. Fire.
Also, you know what kind of guy I am. I think I'm also now remembering why I thought Gouf died here. For some reason in my mind, I replaced Gouf with this guy. Or this guy with Gouf. It would be a shame, but I really wish Gouf died here. Yeah, it looks like the ship guy Celia got killed in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a load-bearing ship.
And it gets shut down.
Nope. Genius is an asshole. It's like the meteor system just targets everything. So they built a mobile solar ray.
Hmm?
Also, was that their Warhammer thing?
Yeah. See, that's a war crime.
Yeah, so was everything. Everything is a war crime so far. Also, we knew that thing was going to be blown up because nobody we know is on it. Well, it's like the white base defenses have all the main characters on the ship. What the fuck? We know you did this.
Yeah.
You were literally backseating me, dude. Come on, the thing couldn't even fly. It was just gonna crash and die. Just should have pulled him out of the backseat and thrown him out.
Yeah.
See, look at that zoom. You compare that to the 10 clicks zoom that Karen had. I hope she doesn't swag, because that dude deserves to get killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was to the right of where they were. Hallowed be thy name.
Those shields are useless, but hey.
Well, most shields are useless.
Well, it'd been used before.
Yeah, it gives the Vulcans the most useless weapon in the show. You not learn any fucking lessons, my dude. Also, I hate GM snipers.
Why?
Because I suck at them. Game doesn't exist anymore. It went out, but I tried. Because she speaks in that Zeon dialect that we heard so much about. Okay, she's a lot like her father, and their mother abandoned them. I don't remember, so this is just a guess. She's wearing the watch and he shot her in the watch. Which, by the way, has the picture of both him and her together in it, which destroyed the picture, much like he destroyed their family. Thank God you caught me in your fully metal hand.
Dude, you pulled the trigger. I don't care. You know, don't say it's your fault.
Well, you know, now she's not in the cockpit for the GM sniper to destroy the cockpit. You just said she was dead, now you don't think she's dead? You gotta take your medicine.
Outside of the cockpit, you know.
I feel like this thing takes like 5 minutes to charge. We have a really weird back and forth.
Oh, the cooling the fuel tanks.
So now she's scarred up the back. I wonder if the GM snipers could have taken out Big Zom.
Maybe.
The Big Zom's whole thing was that the weapons fire didn't affect it. This thing just punctured right through. I don't think you could pull that card when you didn't even remember how many of them died. This last episode. It's November, my dude. How many rules have we just abandoned already? Personally, I would prefer a job that requires air conditioning to being in, again, Vietnam without air conditioning. Oh, don't touch my back.
You were right. It was the
No, it's not. The war brought you back together again. I mean, unless you mean it in a way like I didn't get killed because of the watch. How the fuck will it rise again? I feel like that would have been the best place to end the episode.
Yeah.
Walking away from the broken watch. Because of this, no one will forget the name Kojima. This, and specifically only for this reason.
I mean, if he gets court-martial, he could just get, discharged from the service, right?
I doubt it. They have it in for him. Pretty sure it's going to turn out worse for that if he does get court-martialed. Let's be fair. Easy 8 is a fucking awesome name for a mobile suit. How the fuck did you survive? I'm assuming that just said all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Well, that was his plan. I feel like you could Independence Day this thing. Throw a rock to it or something. Say technically cockpit is above the firing hole.
Yeah.
Very Last Starfighter.
Yeah.
What do? We die.
We die.
I think it's technically a double suicide. We got triple murder. Conceivably, they're on top of the mountain and you're at the bottom of it, so...
Yeah.
This is a good teamwork moment, but I mean...
Didn't that collapse behind them? I mean, they took out most of the mountain. That collapse.
You might not be aware of this, little known fact, but Gundam takes place in Minecraft.
Oh. Yeah.
It's a voxel world. If there's one more episode of 8th MS Team that I wasn't aware existed.
Yeah,
because this is the ending that I think I remember.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a 12th episode just didn't air in the US.
Yeah. Isn't that Elidor's song, right? That he wrote?
You're asking the one who can't hear it.
Yeah.
What a jerk move. I mean, clearly it must be Aina for her brother, but it's just like,
yeah,
for us, the audience.
Mm-hmm. When still Gyarados too. Oh, small ones. But
Apolis don't melt steel girders. We all know that. Or I guess it's for everybody.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's them
investigating.
The Federation forces investigating. Yeah.
I thought it was the ghost of soldiers dying or something.
Mm-hmm. I guess he kept writing letters to BB, even though she told him not to.
I guess technically he was on the bottom half of the...
Mm-hmm.
But there's another episode.
And the report, which I do remember aired because I remember seeing it.
I don't remember it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you put that out there. You've never indicated before that you've seen Miller's report.
No, because I remember when you said Miller's report, I was like, wait a minute. Because I remember the way it was done in one of the runs in toonami. They interceded it with the show. Like I think in episode 10 or episode 9 or 10, when after episode 9, when they do the court martial, they also have the report there. She comes in and Miller, which the character comes in.
Well, don't spoil it. Don't say anything. All you got to indicate is you've seen it before. Don't tell me what it's about.
No.
I told you at the very beginning, I don't know what Miller's report's about, and I didn't want to look it up.
So I was expecting it was going to come out, and I was like, I hasn't seen it. It's like, oh, that's it. When you say it was Miller's report, like, oh, that's an extra thing that is not part of the original show.
It's a movie.
I mean, it's part of it's a movie.
So episode 11 is 25 minutes long, 25 minutes, 3 seconds, right? Every other episode is about 24 minutes long, 24 minutes, 48 seconds. 12th episode is 26 minutes, 57 seconds. So, about 3 minutes longer, or 2-ish minutes longer than a normal episode, whatever that is. Because again, this said end. This is the last thing I remember.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last thing that toonami aired that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Either that, or I just didn't tune in next week. Don't remember.
It's like, well, it's over.
Yeah, I mean, that's very confusing. I don't know what happens next. Do we see what Shiro and Aina wind up as? I'm confused. And I don't know what to expect. I am happy now that we're watching episode 12 by itself next week, because I think I needed the week to take the notes and everything like that, but then to what the fuck can happen next?
True. Yeah.
Especially if they put down end. Why would you put down end and then make another episode?
Postscript? PS?
But you usually put that after the end of the same episode.
True. But this will be a postscript to the entire series?
Also, why would you make an 11-episode series? That doesn't make any sense.
Their story was pretty compact, so...
Yeah, but that's not the format that you make shows in, especially in the late 90s.
Yeah, well...
It's 12/24.
That might explain why, in the toonami run, they threw in Miller's report in there so they could pad it out all.
Miller's report is a 50-minute movie.
I know.
That takes the place of 2 episodes. That doesn't pad out. That makes you a 13-episode run.
Yeah, 13. I've seen the 13-episode animes.
So have I. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm saying you're saying to pad it out, as though that makes it a 12-episode run, when it only seems like there's 11 episodes. And I'm saying that doesn't work that way.
I tell you.
I don't know. You would have to tell me. Yeah, literally, you're the only one who can answer that. What could I tell you? Well, the question and answer comes from the same person.
Yeah, so no, I have nothing. Yeah. Now I'm really curious. Now I'm really looking forward to that 12 episode. Only for now, what the? Maybe I did see it and I don't remember because it's.
That's how everything works with you, since you've seen everything and are only reminded the moment before we start watching. Which also tends to be the moment you spill the beans and tell me what everything's about, despite the fact I don't want you to.
Well, I didn't tell you what Miller's report is.
Apparently, Miller's report is something that happens at the end of the court-martial. Somebody comes in and gives a fucking report. Like, that's way more than I already knew.
True.
Miller's report could have been anything. Could have been about what Budweiser's. I don't know.
No, I mean timing-wise in the series, that's what I wanted. Yeah, that's where it gets slotted in, I think.
Which doesn't make any sense because according to what I thought I saw, Miller's report's supposed to come out like after episode 7, which is not where the court-martial is.
No, court-martial episode 9.
That court-martial was episode 8.
Was it?
We watched episode 9 today, so it'd be weird that you didn't have notes about the court-martial episode if it was one that we hadn't watched yet.
That's true. It was episode 8. I'm just railing on the fact that
the court-martial was at the end of episode 7. No, was it the beginning of episode 8? Sorry, episode 8 was the one where the village happened. Was the court-martial? Yeah, never mind. Court-martial starts that episode. Yeah,
it starts and then it goes into the village thing. Yeah. I'm just thinking now, what could be in that episode 12? That's the thing.
I mean, it would have to be the postscript, even though it doesn't make sense. What happens to Shiro, Aina, Elidor, and Karen?
There's Michelle.
Well, no, I was thinking the couples. Elidor has already said that his future, he plans to be with Karen. So Elidor and Karen.
Yeah.
Shiro and Aina. Sanders had nobody. No. I guess we'll finally see BB, maybe. Although that would be them paying for another voice actor, unless they get an existing voice actor to voice BB, in which case they just get an extra allotment of the revenue, I guess.
Extra credit, yeah.
I guess what Kojima does. We really don't handle anything else in the scope of things.
I mean, the commander got fried. Blasted to bits.
Well, again, the commander's commander.
Oh, God, don't do that.
Well, that's what he is.
The commander.
He's Kojima's commander. However, the person that we refer to as the commander is Shiro. So it's Shiro's commander's commander. So therefore, it's the team's commander's commander.
No, that's not how it works at all.
That is literally how it works.
No.
That's the chain of command. It's his commander's commander.
But you don't say it that way. That's not how it's said.
Seems to be the way I've said it 4 times now.
It's still wrong.
It's not wrong. It's actually technically correct.
It's not even remotely technically correct.
No, it is actually technically correct. By definition of terms, he is that person's commander's commander.
He's everyone's commander below him. That's how it works.
Well, depending. I mean, I don't know if UC Gundam has the concept of faith. Weird to say that. Faith as the status, not faith as in determinism.
It's like the captain of a ship is a commander of everyone on the ship. Now, you may have...
Well, unless an admiral boards.
Don't start, no. Don't. And by the way, an admiral would probably be the commander of the fleet, which would include the ship. So he will be the commander.
Right, but the captain of the ship wouldn't command the commander of the fleet, who might be on his ship.
You're going to run this to the ground, aren't you?
I'm not running it to the ground. I'm just citing examples.
You're underground. You just keep tunneling. You just keep going.
Hey, all I said was I was technically correct, and you want to argue against technicality. I'm technically correct. You have to accept that.
No, I don't, because you're not.
I am technically correct. The guy with the giant mustache who doesn't open his eyes is Kojima's commander. Kojima is Shiro's commander. Therefore,
he's everybody's commander.
Therefore, to everybody, except that it's a chain of command. So he is their commander's commander. Because we're following who's commander. You're like, he's everyone's commander. Yes, including everyone below him and everyone above him. Therefore,
not everyone above him.
Who's Kojima's commander? That guy, right? But Kojima is also Shiro's commander. And you're like, well, yeah, he's everyone's commander under him. Right, sure. But specifically, I'm talking about Shiro. So he is Shiro's commander. That is not incorrect. Agreed? Agreed. Which means that if we're talking about Sanders' commander is Shiro. Shiro's commander is Kojima. Kojima's commander is bushy eyebrows guy. Therefore, commander's commander. It's not incorrect. It might not be the statement you would say, but it is not incorrect, which makes it technically correct.
Oh God, this is so painful.
Well, it'd be less painful if you just, swallowed it in, agreed, and we could move on. Tends to be the easiest way to get past these things.
Let's just move on. What else did you have to say about this episode?
Well, the problem is it's so jam-packed with stuff that it has to be the note section thing, because, it's the culmination. Well, it seems like it's the culmination of the series, but the fact is they put an end on it and then said there's an episode 12. So I can't really say what the culmination is of the series until we know what episode 12 is. Because episode 12 could be literally the wrapping up and where people wind up and things like that.
Where are they now?
Yeah, well, I mean, not so much a where are they now, because this happens before the end of Mobile Suit Gundam. Granted, we don't know where episode 12 ends chronologically, but everything else we've seen ends on January 1st, 80, 0080, whatever you want to call that.
I was in 1980, no. 0080,
well,
yeah.
See, oddly, I watched a bunch of Optimus Prime versus Gundam, the death battle thing earlier today.
Yeah.
And they start that by saying, the year is 2179. I was like, what the fuck? No, it's not. What? Is that anywhere? Did we replace 00 with 21 at some point? Is that in a manga? I don't know where the fuck that comes from, but they say it every time. It's the same video. They say it every time. Every time I play the video, they say it.
We'll have to wait till the next episode then. See what our notes, compare notes, and see what happens. Until next time, there has been Lessons, Beta, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?